we go. There we go. There we go, guys. Number 3. Holy cow. Look at that right there. Check out that fatty. There we go. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Hey guys, I'm back at one of my little favorite ponds here, the Buffalo Hole. You can see the mist coming up on the water, smoke on the water, sprinkling. It's kind of a cool day, a little cool front came through. But we're gonna be fishing anyway. Got the 6-foot ugly stick bass rod, got a couple of 5-foot ultralights, and just gonna see what we can catch. I'm gonna be using the Beetle Spin to start off with a little twister, double twister from Mr. Twister. Fire that around. Excuse me. It's a calm, gorgeous morning. Wonderful time of year. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I make all kinds of videos, but mostly fishing videos, and appreciate the support. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and hopefully we'll catch something. So we definitely need rain, so I don't mind the sprinkling at all. I've got my in that duffel bag, I've got a poncho in there, so if it gets too bad, I can switch into that. Alright, so the Beetle Spin. We all know it, but we don't use it enough. Such a great little lure. And there's different modifications you can do to it. And for me is I swap out the plastics on it. So it comes with a little grub, and sometimes I'll put something like this. Looks like a little frog. Oop. Guys, I got a hit. I got a hit. Got a hit. Ooh, check it out. Easy, fella. Oh, he's nice and warm. It's a little crappie right there. There you go, buddy. So I'm going to be testing out different ones. Let me see if I can get this to where you guys don't want to see that or hear that. Oh, little cabbage on there. All right, guys. I switched colors to this orange chartreuse color. It's actually a crappie magnet that I put on the Beetle Spin. So I just crank her nice and slow. So we'll see if anything hits on this. The other thing is I've got those little archy sexy shads I can put on there. Is that a bite? Very subtle. Just cabbage. Anyway, you can kind of get a look at it right here. So one thing I do with these is, I know it can cause some snag issues, but I pop open the hook up just a little more. That way when the crappie comes in to swallow it, it increases that hookup chance. So then what I do is I let it sink all the way to the bottom, Then I just give her some cranks. They'll hit it on the fall too. I got a friend of mine that'll jig with stump jigging with a Beetle Spin. He doesn't even run it through. That felt like a pop, guys. Man, that looks good in the water. I don't think you guys can hear them, but off in the distance I can hear the turkeys gobbling. It's that time of year. Oh yeah, that looks good in the water. Nothing yet on the orange. Just a bit of cabbage. So in here you got bass, you got sand bass, crappie, warmouths, sunfish of all kinds, and gar. And of course catfish, and those bullheads. Down here people call them mudcats, but a lot of different things in here. One thing about the gar is they're pretty smart. They'll hang around in the shallows and go along the edges looking for where the fish have spawned and laid eggs, and they'll just gobble those up. Maybe just about time to put the old rain poncho on. Yeah, the turkeys are pretty active over there. The rain doesn't bother them. So nothing on this orange color. Orange and chartreuse. And the other day with that orange meps, man, I couldn't miss with that. The water here is just a little bit clearer. Couple more casts with this and we're going to switch to one of those little arky sexy shads. Oh, right. Oh my gosh, guys. I got sniped right in there. And he, oh boy, he hammered it. Just couldn't get him. He was lurking in the shallows. That could have been a gar, or maybe, well, it could have been anything. Boy, he just popped it. some cabbage here. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're gonna keep her going here. Yeah, get a nice poncho and a sprinkle like this and gonna bother you. This one is that M095 Camo from Finland. And my mom made it for me out of that pattern that we found. Just a basic poncho pattern. And I love this thing. And it's got a plushy liner on the inside. So if you're caught out where there's some snow or cool weather, when it gets cold, when it's pouring rain, got a little protection there, keep you warm. So I'm just kind of fanning all the way across. That's one of the things with a beetle spin. It's a good little search bait. So much fun just to fling it out there. Yeah, a lot of people wonder, yep, I fish left-handed, but I'm ambidextrous. Grew up that way. I throw right-handed, kick with my right foot, but when I played baseball, I could hit from both sides of the plate. And so I don't know, I mean, I can fish from both sides, but it just feels real comfortable this way. But if I had to switch over, you know, I could. The way I look at it is just whichever feels more comfortable for you. I don't mind using my left hand to do the jigging and the, you know, the navigating, but a lot of people they'd rather be doing that with their dominant hand. All right, a couple more casts. I'm going to switch to a different color. Oh yeah, guys, drop a comment what colors or what different mods you use for the Beetle Spin. I got a buddy that's all he uses is just the straight stock grubs that come with it. And he catches a lot of fish. You know, he'll swap between the colors, but he's if it's not broken, as he puts it, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So he'll he just uses it as is. For me, I think it's fun to kind of experiment and tinker around and see what kind of combos work. All right, guys, I got one of these little arky, sexy tail shads. It's like a little minnow. We'll see if this gets anything going. The other thing is I got the Rapala countdown with me and the assortment of MEPs. There you can kind of see it. Get the half can to pick it up. The hook is just a hair too long for it, but we're going to give it a shot. Now for crappie, I like to use the smallest blade size of either the Twister, Mr. Twister Jig Spinner, or the crappie, or excuse me, the Beetle Spin. But then that next size up will work too, you know. You just gotta kind of play with it and see. guys, I had a hit right there. Dang it all. Dang, that's two where I've been popped and I couldn't get them. Crying out loud. Well, we just got to keep trying. Yeah, so let me know which different color combos you use. That chartreuse is good for like muddy water. Black always works. Some people swear by white or by pink. That's some cabbage. So the main thing is just you got to test them out. You know, give them a shot. Try different combos until because that's one thing with crappie is, man, there's nothing's biting on one color, and as soon as you switch to a different one, you know, the bite is hot again. So you just kind of have to play with it a little bit. Chartreuse is always a good one. Here we're going to switch to the MEPS. I'm going to try the Thunderbug probably in that hot orange. That hot orange worked when I was up in the fishing the creek and the water's tainted red, really. Kind of that orange red clay tint. Alright guys, I switched to that hot orange MEPS size one that I used the other day. Turkeys are back creaking and croaking. There's been some people walking the trails out here doing some bird watching. And like I told a couple one day, right up there when I was walking out, they're like, have you seen any interesting birds? And I was like, well, to be honest, you got to get off the trail and just head back into the bush and into the woods. And that's going to be your best bet where not many people go. You'll see the owls, the hawks. And of course, they didn't like that. But that's usually the case. Now when I'm way up in Iowa, at some of the remote places I fish where you gotta hike back in there, you just see all kinds of cool stuff. Here too, you just gotta get back in there a bit. But that's one of the great things I love about fishing in Iowa up there is there's just so many cool things to see when you're out there. I've got a couple of interesting trips while I'm up there this summer. I was thinking about going to the Boundary Waters again, way up there where I made a video a couple years ago, but I don't know if I'm going to do that again this year. I didn't go last year. We had a lot of family stuff going on, which was so much fun. Had a lot of fun last summer hanging out with the family, doing stuff. This year maybe just a little. Ooh, there was a gar popped right there. So this year will be a little bit different, but a couple parts of Iowa I've never been to. I'm going to try to go fish. And then of course I'll return to the scene of my PB. Smallmouth and my local waters there. So much fun to catch that fish. I was trying to get a measurement on him. He flopped and he popped me and I got stuck and was bleeding like a stuck pig. But I had such a blast doing that. I don't know if you guys remember, but the beach there's so much kind of a sandiness that it's hard to walk and stand in. So I got this cool little tarp it's kind of like a little canvas tarp that I can put down. In that video from last year, I brought just like a full tarp and folded it up and used this, because if I don't, when I put the reels down the tackle bag, it just gets coated in that sand. Nothing on this orange. That cool front did come through and it kind of messed things up just a little bit. Anytime there's a barometric pressure up or down, the fish get real squirrely, and you guys know that. Man, that looks good in the water. So I put in an order. I ordered a couple more of this color, and then I did like that hot green. It's like a fluorescent green. And then I did like a metallic green. All right, guys, cast number 1 with a Rapala Countdown minnow. Kind of that perch, yellow perch color-ish. So I just let it sink, and then I start doing some slow cranks. I'm using this one on the bass rod. There's a couple of spots in Iowa where this is going to be perfect to use. Back in the colder months, right over there where that log is, I was standing and casting this way, and I was catching lots of crappie, having a good time using the Rapala Countdown minnow and the Jig and Wrap. Yeah, I caught my PB Texas crappie over there. The thing is, I'm not going to try to wade over into there because snake season, cutting through all that brush and all the logs. So it's better just to steer clear out of that. All right, boys, we're hooked up. As a crappie came in shallow, but he just inhaled this. Take a look at that. He came in shallow. I could see them right down in there. Let me get my pliers. Right down in there, I could see a whole bunch of ripples, you know, like little wakes. So I knew. There we go. I knew something was in there, so I just pitched in there, and sure enough, there he was. Not bad. He was in there hunting kind of close. There he goes. Yeah, right in there I could see these wakes going back and forth. So I pitched in there. I'm using the Berkeley Twitch Tail minnow. After I had switched from the craw to the anisaptera, and I said, well, I'm going to give this a try. Because in here I've caught gar, I've caught bass, and those little sand bass, and crappie using the Berkeley twitch tail. So I was like, all right, let's go for it. And it worked out great. Ooh, see the boils? That's what I was seeing. And I'd already been walking up and down the bank here. Yeah, I caught a nice big bass and about 6 inches of water on this one time. This very pond, except I was on that side. See, they've done a lot of work where they fixed the water level and depth. So it used to be much more shallow in here, and on that side there was like a big beach. So I just walked along that and fished. Well, then they changed up how the drainage is in here, and this thing holds a heck of a lot more water than before. Well, nothing there. I'm tempted to throw the Beetle Spin one more time since I've used everything else, and I've had a lot of fun throwing that. I've been looking at some stuff at Lou's, rod reel combos. The thing is, guys, I'm just so dead set on the ugly sticks. I know a lot of people make fun of them and don't like them, but for me, I've never had them fail, and I've never had any issues with them. Catching big pike, trout, even on these little ultralights catching, I've caught big fish on them. Never had any trouble. But there are some cool ones that Lou's has, some combos there that I'm kind of looking at. But it's been a long time since I've upgraded any reels. Earlier this spring I got a Lou's Speed Spin 100, and because the Cast King Sharky 2 I was using finally just came apart. But my other ones, this one's a Lou's Speed Spin 100 right here. It's got a lot of usage on it. I don't know, I don't want to get rid of them or throw them away. You know, it's kind of like keeping trophies to hang on to them. Put them on backup rods, I guess, for like when we have friends and family to up in Iowa that want to go fishing. I got tons of rods and reels up there. Too many. One more cast and we're going to switch back to the Beetle Spin. You know what? I've never tried putting one of these Berkeley twitch tails on a Beetle Spin. Why don't we try that and see how that goes? Ooh, I got something picking at it, guys. Something picking at it. She's going under. She's going under. She came back up. Just a subtle little bite. There she goes. There she goes. There she goes. There she goes. Dang. Definitely a crappie with that super light bite. I messed up. I should have just set the hook right when it was going under, but you know how it is. You like to see it go under. You want to see like a good fight. Oh man. And he came back for it too because it went down under again. Is he on there? Dang. Oh well, we'll fire it back out there and see what happens. Oops, a little off to the left, but in here close, guys. Right here again. Woohoo! Oh, this is just a little bass. Hey, I'll take it. Come on. He's so little I can't even get my thumb in his mouth. Oh, I always forget to tilt my head down so you guys can see what's going on. There we go. Hey, it's not too bad. Just right in here close. Boy, he inhaled it too. Hooked right on the top of the mouth. All right. That's all I'm using. Just a little Berkeley twitch tail on a trout magnet. But I'm going to put this on a Beetle Spin. We're going to test that out. All right, there we go, guys. The Berkeley twitch tail on the Beetle Spin. Never tried it before. So we're going to see how what happens with this. So as usual, I just let it sink. Then I'll start cranking it in real slow. It doesn't look half bad in the water. I don't think the camera picked it up, but the tail is wiggling pretty good. I know some guys will put like little mini curly tail grubs on there and stuff, and I use that little double twister tail thing I've got from Mr. Twister. That's where I got that first one on. Oh yeah, that looks good in the water. Anyway, so a couple times a year I get on my little Beetle Spin kick, but they're just so much fun to use. That's one thing I didn't really test out on the coast. I've never known anyone to use a Beetle Spin in the ocean. So maybe next year for spring break that'll be a goal. That looks good in the water. A little bit of cabbage on there, but sprinkling has died down for the most part. A little bit of mist on the water still. Alright guys, I switched to this double twister from Mr. Twister. That black color. You saw me using the chartreuse. Nothing interested. So we'll try this one. That's what I caught the first crappie on. I need to swing by Walmart or Bass Pro, one of those, and get a bunch more Beetle Spins. I'm running low. Starting to sprinkle again. I like the little size for the finicky bite, and then that medium size. I mean, I use all of them. And Mr. Twister has its little jig spinner, which works out pretty well too. All right, boys, we're hooked up right here in the shallows again. This one's got a little fight to it. Ooh, it's a bass that came in. What's up with my drag? Bass feeding in the shallows. He's not bad. Ooh, come here, buddy. Get this poncho out of the way. There we go. Clean him up a little. He's not too bad. Nice little bass there. Hanging out right in the shallows. Popped him. Oh man, that was good stuff. So I had switched to this black color right here. This little double tail. I'm going to try one more lure and then we're going to call it. All right, guys. Right in here close. I went right back in there and guess what? There we go. Nice crappie. Let's see. There we go. Let me get this situated around the poncho. Hey, he's not too bad. It's a nice little fish right there. Boy, they're liking this little area right in here. Was it the one that I lost just a few minutes ago when I was doing the outro? Maybe. You know how it is. Sweet revenge for losing one earlier. All right. So now I have to redo the outro. Oh my gosh, guys. It's just so much fun to do this. Make videos and have fun with all the fishing. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Just throwing this little size 1 Mepps XD in like a white color. Had a lot of fun out here today. It's just a different kind of a day, you know, rainy, but absolutely no wind. It's just perfect, nice and cool. Got the poncho out, stayed dry. It was just a lot of fun. Hope you guys are having a good time fishing out there this spring. Thought I had a bite there. It's starting to heat up. Yeah, let me, ooh, what was that? Got it hung up there. Yeah, let me know what your favorite colors in the Beetle Spin are those little grubs, or if you change something up. Because I'm always curious, you know, about testing new things. Or the Mr. Twister jig, as they call it. I'll be definitely using that some more. Got some good fishing trips planned this summer. Once I'm up in Iowa, looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, once again, thanks for supporting the channel. We're rolling along. I think, what now, over 2,000 subscribers? Jeez Louise. Just moving right along. It's a lot of fun to do these. Most of the time I make the videos for just like a little video diary for me, so I can look back, see what worked, and just kind of relive those moments. Because if not, you know, we forget about them. And, you know, when people come along for the ride, that's great. Kind of see what's going on fishing wise in other parts of the country. Oh gosh, dang it, right there, guys. I don't know if it was one of those little bass or what, but man, he thumped it and he just didn't stick. Crying out loud. Ooh. And so it goes with fishing. Ooh, what was that? I hadn't seen the wakes in close like I did before when I caught that one crappie. Anyway, all right, guys, until next time, I'll see you then. Best of luck with all your fishing endeavors. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.